Welcome to the Lead Every Day show. Our mission is to see a world well led. And our strategy to get there? To empower leaders like you to lead every day. So let's get to work.
It's a brand new week. Welcome to the Lead Every Day show. I'm Randy Gravett.
And I'm Mark Miller.
And Mark, here we go, man. It's a Monday, and we've been answering listener questions the last couple of weeks. It's been a lot of fun. So many good things. Today's question is a fun one. How do you get people to, I'm going to say, play together nicely? We're going to talk about here today. But if you've not subscribed to the show, you just maybe stumbled across it, I hope you'll hit the download button and download all these episodes. We're doing Monday through Friday. Do you give you 8-10 minutes a day trying to help you think about becoming a better leader, improving your team performance, and really strengthening your organization. Everything we can do to help folks, Mark. So I hope they'll do that. And if you've not left a comment, do so. Give us a 5-star rating if you like what you're listening to. I think that algorithm stuff, it helps the show spread. And the other thing I would say is if you've not shared an episode with a friend or family member, I hope you'll do that. I hope you'll just continue to help us spread the word. We're trying to help leaders everywhere, and we think this is a lot of fun. So you can play nicely with us if you'll help us with some of those things. That'd be great. We don't ask you to do that very often, but if you've not done so, help us out there. So, Mark, today's question: how do you get leaders to work horizontally, not just vertically? Like how we get everybody to play together? Let's talk about that. This is a good one.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of thoughts. Let's start with shared goals, which I
knew you were going to say that.
Well, I think they're undervalued. People have asked me before, like, when does a team really become a team? Well, it's not when they get the jersey. It's not when they're drafted. It's not when they get the jersey. It's not the first time that they take the field. A team becomes a team when they have shared goals. I remember talking to a leader who was struggling with performance, and I asked about his leadership team, and I've got a leadership team and this, that, and the other. And I said, do they have goals? And he said, yeah, well, the marketing guy has a goal and the operations guy has a goal. And he went through 3 or 4, the HR talent person has a goal. And I said, oh, you don't have a team. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, you've got a work group. I said, they don't work together because they don't see any reason to work together. They don't have any shared and common goals. And so I would say that's the first lever I'm going to pull. Not the only one, but the first one I'm going to pull if I want people on a team to work with their peers.
Well, I'll make a couple of strong statements here. You've told me before you don't even think they're a team. I mean, if they don't have a shared goal, you'd say that's not even a team.
That's not a team.
Yeah, exactly. And so I would say if you don't have a shared goal, I'm going to take it a step further. I'm not even sure you need to be having a meeting together. If you just get everybody together and marketing guy, what are you doing in marketing, and sales guy, what are you doing in sales, and
there are probably more efficient ways to do information sharing.
That's information sharing at that point. And so I would want to make sure that we do think through, like, what is our shared goal if we're going to do that. But when we think about this idea of how to get people to work together, there's a misnomer, I think, that the goal is to get to the top. I think the goal is to get to the top together. And if we just get to the top and we don't really have the people working together.
Sure.
And we're getting over into that little territory of there's a lack of alignment. And if we don't have alignment, we know this, it's going to stall results. It's just not going to be, you use the old tug of war. You got some people on one side of the rope and some people on the other. It's not enough to get them on the same side of the rope. They've got to be pulling in the same direction.
Exactly.
We want to make sure that people are really working together, and it's the old, are they rocking the boat or rowing the boat? If everybody's rowing, it's great. I think some of the spirit behind the question is not just vertically. It's easy for me to do what my supervisor says, or it's easy for me to lead my team, but I'm going to work with my peers. And one of the reminders I would give leaders here is I think the team that you're on might be more important than the team that you lead. I've heard that before. I'm not sure who said that first, but I love that mindset of the team that I'm on is more important than the team that I lead. Now, why would I need to hear that? I have no problem thinking about the team that I'm leading. I mean, that's going to be your default. You're going to think about that all the time. But most of us don't really realize that the team that we're on actually is bigger than the team that we lead.
Right.
And so
it has more influence.
It has more influence. It's bigger for the organization. And so playing together nicely in the sandbox of the team that I'm on,
Yeah.
that is a force multiplier in an organization. It really is. And it models alignment for the team that I'm leading.
Sure.
Because they see, and if they know you're not on board with your teammates, then why would I expect them to be on board with their teammates?
Yeah, for sure. So let me share another strategy. If you want people to work together, one of the things that we discovered years ago and have written about and been preaching faithfully now for a couple of decades is that if you want to build a high-performance team, the turbocharger for that team is something we call community, right? Good teams have talent and skills, but great teams have talent, skills, and community. And community, that's beyond the scope of this particular episode, but it's when the leader consciously, purposefully, and strategically creates a place where people want to work together. They want to serve each other. It's where they care about the people and the results. And if you'll pursue community, that's another really good way to get folks to work together.
I think one of the ways to do that, like we always try and give people stuff to do, is maybe a getaway out of the normal cadence of meeting week after week after week in your boardroom or wherever you are. You and I are doing, we're doing a meeting with an executive team in a couple of weeks. They're pulling out, and we've got a spot they're coming to, and we're going to spend some time. What I found in the organizations I've worked in, for really my whole career, is anytime we get away from the normal routine, it gives us a way to accelerate community, to create new strategies.
A shared experience.
Shared experience. I mean, it's amazing what happens. A couple of day retreat, you get away, and all of a sudden there's a closeness that begins to form when we just have more time together. As a result of just or as opposed to just spending time in the urgency of the business all the time, and we really don't have time to think some of those, about some of that stuff that we've got going on there. I think that's a huge opportunity for us to build some community, is to pull away. And so that might be an action step for the listener to say, what would it look like for me to get these people that I'm trying to get to work together? What would it look like to get them together, just outside of the workplace? And I think that could be something that could accelerate this.
That's a part of community that I don't know that we've talked enough about over the years. There is a time dependency.
Yeah.
There is time required, and you can accelerate it, as you said, with those massive doses over a day or two or three.
Yeah.
But even if you choose not to do that, are you investing community over time?
Investing time in
time over time.
Yes.
Because it's cumulative.
Yeah.
It's cumulative. So that would be another idea to help encourage those people around the table to work together.
Yeah, and let's go back to something you talked about a few episodes ago. You were talking about the power of a conversation. If we need, I think there's sometimes we can get like, and I know you're not the parents of your team, but sometimes there's times when the kids weren't getting along, and we just pull them to the kitchen table and let's sit there and let's have a conversation about what's going on here. And it could be that, it literally can be that simple. If you've got teammates that don't feel like they're getting along, you may need to intervene. You may need to, have a conversation with them and pull them into a meeting and say, let's talk about it. And I think there's some things that we can do there to make sure. I think this alignment thing is a really big deal. If you don't have alignment, I think you're gonna have a hard time going to the place that you're trying to go, trying to get to the top. You do want to get to the top, but you want to get there together. I think it's a
So let me share one more idea. It's a little bit out there, but maybe it'll be thought-provoking for you. Some of you might know the name Dee Hock. He's the guy who invented the credit card, as far as I know. I mean, he founded Visa, but I think the credit card was his idea. And he had some countercultural / radical views on leadership. So I'm not a disciple of Dee Hock, but this was real thought-provoking to me. And he was challenging leaders in his organization and leaders at large, because there's been much published. You can Google this and read his own words on this. But he challenged leaders and the way they spend their time. And so I'll just, in summary fashion, he suggested that the best leaders spend 50% of their time managing themselves. So right out of the chute, like literally 50% of their time. He said they spend 25% of their time leading up, consciously, purposefully, and strategically. Well, again, just that's kind of mind blowing.
Yeah.
But to today's question, he said the best leaders invest 20% of their time leading horizontally.
Yeah. Across the organization.
Across.
Yeah.
And so when I heard that, it just made me think, if I looked at my calendar for the last 30 days, how much time was I intentionally trying to lead across the organization? So as we look at these several ideas that might help you be more thoughtful and intentional, again, back to a time audit. We talked about that yesterday or day before. Yeah. How much time are you investing to lead your peers?
Yeah.
So
that's
just
great.
Something to think about as you wrestle with this issue.
There's an old Bible verse. I'll end with this. There's an old Bible verse that says how good and pleasant it is when men and women live together in unity. There's just nothing. I'd say nothing. There's very few things as good as a great teammate. It's when we get a teammate, it's just really, and we get everybody working together. It's good and it's pleasant. And we all know if we've been in a situation where we're not working together, it's not good and it's not pleasant. So we've got a chance here to really make things better.
But not just hope they're going to get better.
No, we got to.
Hope is not a strategy.
We got to invest in some of these things that we're talking about. It's good. Hey, I'm glad you're my teammate, man. This is great. It's been a fun episode. We'll be back with you tomorrow with some more content here. Remember, the best leaders lead every day.